Karoline Leavitt blasts media and Democrats over false narratives surrounding Texas flood catastrophe. A fierce political storm is raging alongside the devastating floods in Texas, as Republican firebrand Karoline Leavitt took to the airwaves to accuse the mainstream media and Democratic leaders of spreading misinformation in the wake of the deadly disaster. Her fiery remarks have set off a fresh round of political clashes, adding another layer of controversy to an already heart-wrenching crisis. Appearing on conservative news outlets and sharing her message widely across social media, Leavitt condemned what she described as a coordinated effort by left-leaning politicians and media organizations to weaponize the tragedy for political gain. According to Leavitt, coverage of the floods has been rife with exaggerations, misplaced blame, and sensationalism, all designed, she claimed, to advance narratives about climate change and Republican leadership failures in Texas. The Texas floods, which have left significant swaths of the state underwater, claimed dozens of lives and forced thousands from their homes. Dramatic scenes of submerged vehicles, rescues by boat, and overwhelmed emergency shelters have dominated news coverage. But Leavitt insisted that while the human suffering is real and heartbreaking, the political spin attached to the disaster is dishonest and dangerous. Leavitt specifically called out Democratic leaders for rushing to microphones to blame Republican policies for worsening climate events, accusing them of exploiting the tragedy to push environmental agendas and federal regulations. She argued that while extreme weather is an undeniable challenge, Democrats are ignoring local realities and the complexities of emergency management in favor of sound bites and partisan attacks. During one of her interviews, Leavitt pointed to examples where some media outlets suggested Texas infrastructure failures were solely due to Republican governance. She countered that flood-prone regions have faced challenges for decades under both parties, and said improving flood resilience requires bipartisan cooperation, not political finger-pointing. Meanwhile, Leavitt praised first responders and local officials on the ground in Texas, calling their efforts heroic and the true story the media refuses to tell. She said the focus should remain on helping families recover and rebuilding communities, rather than scoring political points. Her remarks have triggered sharp reactions online and in political circles. Critics accused Leavitt of deflecting responsibility and downplaying the role of climate change and infrastructure issues that contributed to the scale of the disaster. Supporters, however, hailed her for speaking out against what they see as opportunistic narratives that overshadow the immediate needs of flood victims. Social media lit up with heated debates under hashtags like #TexasFloods, Karoline Leavitt, and media bias, with viral clips of her interviews racking up views by the millions. For some, Leavitt's comments reflected frustration with how national tragedies often become political battlegrounds. For others, they were yet another sign of how deeply polarized America remains, even in the face of natural disasters. As Texas continues to grapple with rescue and recovery efforts, the floodwaters have exposed not only vulnerable communities, but the deep divides in how Americans perceive and discuss crisis events. Whether Karoline Leavitt's message resonates or backfires remains to be seen, but her forceful intervention has ensured that the political narrative around this disaster will remain front and center for days to come.